As the questions continue, Dr. Gonsalves, the 2015 manifesto promised a lot of stuff that was supposed to be completed by 2020. Some are still yet to be completed. How can we trust that the promises in the 2020 manifesto will be completed?
Well, I want them to tell me those which have not been done. And I will tell you. You take, for instance, the city at Annesville. Because I see the thing. No city, no stadium. What is the other one? No hospital. Yes, those are the three. I made the point plain from the very beginning that a city cannot be built overnight or in one 5-year term. What we have done a layout of the city. We have identified, and the World Bank study identified where we must build it, the hospital, which is the anchor project. The concept for the city is emphasizing health and wellness. That's why we had the acute referral hospital there. The World Bank also financed, through a soft loan, the design. It took us over 4 years, both in respect of the advertisement, the procurement, and the design time. The design time took over 2 years. The top of the line hospital. We have a design now. You see, we put it, it's in the manifesto, it's on billboards. That's not Farmville, you know. That's a real design. In every single room, we know what pieces of equipment we have to buy. What everything is for is complete, is a complete package. Just a few weeks ago, Camilo was talking with the World Bank again, or Minister of Finance. And they said, yes, they're looking favorably on helping us with the construction, which is maybe about 55 million US dollars. That is the anchor project. Then National Properties, Korea is going to open, you see they fix up the old airport building, and they're going to do something adjacent. So you'll have a shopping center. We held the Koreans back because I didn't want them to go too far ahead until we were ready with the designs in respect of the hospital. When I come off from Casson Hill, I don't want to see a ramshackle jungle there, you know. I want when you and your children and your grandchildren come off there, and I dead and gone, I want you to say, you know, we have to thank Ralph. He did this thing carefully. You can't build a city overnight. What, they're not taunting me about the airport? What I have there? Yeah? I have an airport there, and they bring in investment. Man who not do. Confucius didn't say it, but he should have said it. Man who don't do shouldn't really criticize man who do, you know. Look, so that's the stadium. Well, we just dealt with that. The hospital, the stadium, the city. Those are the answers. But the fellas who are putting those things are the mind benders, the spin-off from Cambridge Analytica and SCL, the people who try to kerfuffle Americans' minds with Donald Trump. And what is happening is the people with the money for the passport funding the campaign. They're having a campaign online. You notice how on the ground they hardly have any good ground campaign because they got three persons in England running their media campaign and 2 on the ground. So you can taunt, you can play games and so forth. These fellas have been on my back since 1998, 22 years ago. And now they want this passport. They had it with Sir James. When I came, one of the first things I did, I repealed the law. One of the whistleblowers, SCL, who worked here in St. Vincent, I had a meeting with him in England last year. He said, Ralph, the king of the passport selling and the main man in SCL, Strategic Communication Laboratory, they're coming at you again. They said they want a passport, yes, but more than anything, they say you're the only man in the Caribbean who decide that where they wanted to get a passport, you stand up to them and you defeat them. And I shall defeat them again. Let me tell you this. One of the other whistleblowers, to show you these kind of fellas who they want to control this place. I never allow them to. You hear me? Never. Here, Alexander Nix is the man from SCL. You know, they said, Nix could not help himself. He was intoxicated by power. This fellow is a whistleblower. Cambridge Analytica and the plot to break America, Christopher Wiley. This wasn't the one who spoke to me. Here, Nix couldn't help himself. He was intoxicated by power. Born too late to play colonial master in the old British Empire, he treated SCL as the modern equivalent. As Nix put it in one of our meetings, he got to quote unquote, play the white man. They're just niggers, he once said to a colleague in an email, referring to black politicians in Barbados, referring to what they were doing in Trinidad when Kamala hired them. We were spying pure and simple with cover from Trinidad leaders. He goes on to say, the Trinidad project was my first taste of this new wave of digital colonialism. We arrived unannounced with our superior technology and moral disregard, no better than the king's armies, except this time, unlike the conquerors of old, we were completely invisible. You see why I talk about the Caribbean civilization? This is what a whistleblower talk about they were trying to do.
Dr. Gonsalves,
you see this book?
on the issue
you see this book?
of the CBI.
No. I'll come in. I'll talk CBI too. I'll come in. I don't have anywhere to go this Friday afternoon, you know. You may have to go. It's okay. You can. The Cosmopolites. This book I just quoted from is about the mind benders. This one is about the actual passport sellers. Let me quote it. This book is by Atosa Araxia Abrahamian. The impact of passport sales in St. Kitts made waves in the normally placid Eastern Caribbean waters. Christian Kalin, this is the king of passport selling, suddenly had the air of almost every politician in the region, with the notable exception of the president of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, you mean the prime minister, who has loudly and publicly denounced the idea of selling citizenship, saying that he has a, quote, fundamental philosophical objection